This is more of a filler video if anything. I have two exceptional videos coming up, but it's definitely taking too long to edit, so while you're at it, enjoy this video, and hopefully you can learn something from it. So, today I played Jamison Kao, a candidate master Hong Kong chess prospect, and his biggest achievement, he drew Ding Liren. He started a Twitch channel recently, and has been asking chat to support him out, so I did. And like how all small chess streamers do, he does viewer requests and beats them on stream. So I tuned in, joined the Discord voice chat, he was in, and I sent him a duel. We played 2 matches, and the games were definitely very interesting and very well. So we're going to go into the first game. So we are at the first game, honestly. This is the Candidate Master's Count. And the game starts with 1 to e4, 1 to d5. The Scandinavian ever takes knight to f6. This is the modern Scandinavian. I have plans to cover this in the future, but in a much more extensive manner, which probably won't really fit for a YouTube video, but I do have plans on covering this opening. This is my main repertoire for against 1 to e4, and he actually played this line before. He said he actually played this opening before, and he knows the theory. So d4, bishop g4, the Portuguese variation, also known as the Portuguese gambit. f3, bishop f5, and g4. g4 here is what I would call the refutation of the modern Scandinavian. It's not completely refuted, because, well, it's +1. It's +1, so like, I guess in the computer level, you might win. But here, practically, white is better. But it is still playable for black. Black still has a couple things that they can play. And the theory here would be c4, e6, takes, knight c3. Knight c6, I believe. I think. Wait. Yeah, knight c6. Knight c6. This would be the point. You play e6. If takes, you play knight c6. And if this is just a transposition of a very wild Portuguese line, it's just completely winning. And if d5, which I've seen before, for knight b4, and this is just, knight a3, bishop c5. This is still a transposition of a very wild Portuguese thing. So it's definitely still playable. Unfortunately, we're playing a candidate master who played chess his entire life. He knows theory. Jokes, he doesn't. He plays bishop b5 check, which is not the best move. Definitely not. And it sends the game to complete equal. And it's not like, oh, the theory here might be like, yeah, bishop e5 check, and then knight bd7. Very nice of him. But unfortunately, c6. c6. Yay, c6. I know the theory here, bro. I know the theory of the modern Scandinavian more than him because I played this for effectively my entire chess career. c6 is the move. He takes, knight takes. Pawn takes. Oh, sorry. Pawn takes. Well, okay, so maybe I don't know the theory. Knight takes would have been the best, but I think like after this is just transposition. Yeah, sure, black's better, but this pawn looks awkward as hell. So I got bishop c4. And here I just develop like normal. I play e6. He goes knight e2. I play bishop to d6. I'm trying to exploit this diagonal. You'll see why in a second. Bishop to e3. And I didn't castle. The reason why I didn't castle here is because of something like h4. This might be bad. h5 is the move here. But and h5 is the move. Takes. Or he can push. Pushing is bad, but why not, right? So takes. And practically, I think, Richie won. I think practically, white in the long term might be able to exploit this opened g file. So I didn't want to go indulge in any of that. I didn't want to castle and open up h4 possibilities. Especially when the pawns are already so much advanced because it kicked the bishop out. So in this position, I played knight to d5 instead of castling. The point is this knight is doing very well. It can go into a bunch of places. It's trying to take this bishop. And on top of that, it's also opening this queen h4 check. So what do you do in this position? Well, if you take here, then this would be just worse for you, because I get a very good pawn structure. But he takes. He takes. It's fine. It's a blitz game. You're not supposed to calculate that deep. So knight b c3, knight c6, a3, and entering this check. He missed this check. Unfortunately, he missed this check. Fairly simple. When I played knight to d5 here, the best move here was bishop to f2, which I told him, like, you gotta play bishop f2 here, because this check is a thing. I don't think he seed the check, but you know, what do you mean? Queen h4 check, and here I expected him to play bishop to f2. To which, like, at that point I was like, I just ruined this check. I'm gonna go back to queen f6 or something, get this pawn, and like just munch on all these pawns, I guess. King to d2 was a little bit more unexpected, but credit to him, it's also not a bad move at all. So it was simply because this king, sure, it might have lost casting rights, but this king is also still pretty cozy, even though it's in the middle of the board. These rooks are not connected, I guess. The queen has to go, but these rooks can now join the game because the king is here, and you don't have a way to get into the king here. Rook b8, b3, to protect. Obviously, the pawn's gonna take it, and queen f6. Queen f6 to attack this pawn on f3. In the long term, obviously not right now. h4, sure. h4. If you take on f6 now, you have h5 with bishop goes here, and suddenly this is just not that good of a position. I mean, rook f1 is coming. I mean, knight takes e4. This e4 pawn takes like rook f1, I think. Queen g1 is better. I don't think anyone's seen queen g1. Like rook f1. Rook f1 is what I calculated here. Rook f1 is what I calculated. Computer disagrees. But queen takes g4, and I guess like the computer is saying that take all these pawns. It's completely fine. This is free candy from a stranger that you can accept. But I didn't want to take free candy from strangers. Obviously, my mom taught me that. Don't take candies from from strangers. So I didn't want to get involved with, you know, taking that thing. So after h4, I simply play h6. h6 to free up my bishop. And he plays h5 here, bishop h7. And now, the most logical continuation here is to continue march with your pawn, because your pawns are so advanced. f4, g5, perhaps even g6. f4, g5, g6, rook g1, I guess queen f1, maybe like queen g2. Some sort of ideas. You want to start kingside attack to even have some chances of winning. They plays king to c1 here, which is just because now suddenly this candy is just completely free. I'm attacking this bishop, I'm attacking this pawn. He goes back, but now it's like, if I take more candies, I'm gonna get diabetes. I don't want to take this pawn. It's the best move, by the way. I don't want to take this pawn. I fear possibilities of rook g1, and then like I think rook takes g7. Might be dangerous later. Although like, I didn't really see a concrete way. I guess my intuition just says like this is just bad. So I play queen f6 here after carefully thinking. 30 seconds here, by the way. Rook f1 anyways. Rook f1. Queen to e7. King to b2. Queen e7 here to protect this, and king to b2 to protect this pawn. Here, knight e5 is the move I opted for. Decent amount of thinking here, but the idea is very simple. This king is pinned. This rook is here. Ooh, gaga. c4. How do I get knight c4? Boom. Knight e5, etc. Blah blah blah. Just complicated thoughts, but king to a2 here. And I stared him deep in the eyes. Virtual screen. I didn't have face cam on, but I stared him deep in the eyes, and I said, "You have a pawn." Except no, he didn't. Knight takes d5. This is why this is why I fear child prodigy. The two chess players, the two types of chess players that I fear the most. The first one is child prodigy, but the second ones, which I fear even more, are babies. He's off the first time, and both types, babies and child prodigies, kids in general, they're very tactically sharp. So he spent 22 seconds on king a2. He calculated this entire sequence. Up takes, bishop takes a5. Yep, my knight is hanging. So I retreated my bishop back. Knight c3. The position is completely equal. But here I blundered. Castling here would be a completely fine move. Castling here would be a completely fine move, but I got greedy. Queen to b7. The point of queen to b7 is to go to a6. The problem is that this loses to a very stupidly mediocre move. Rook e1. Rook e1. Rook e1 check. So let's list out what things we have here. Obviously, you can't castle. You can't castle and check if you do know the rules. Let's start with the best move. King f8. Traps this rook. I'm playing rookless. So what's the point? What's the point of playing chess if I'm just down a rook, and I'm not even down a rook, like my rook is just stuck in a corner, boxed like a fish, smothered. So what's the point, right? King to d7. Another move. King to d7 is more plausible. But then g5. g5, if it takes. The point of g5 here is not that you want to trade anything. The point is queen to g4. Queen g4, suddenly it is very deadly. f5, queen takes g5. And in the long term, white can stack up the rooks. And this is just completely winning for white. And finally, bishop e4. I'm not going to touch on that because we're going to touch on that later. Bishop e7 is the move that I didn't. Bishop e7. Wait, sorry. Bishop e7. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Bishop to e7, queen to e2. And this thing, right? This bishop is completely stuck. Why? Because it's being pinned. But this king is also really stuck. If a king tries to move anywhere, for example this, the bishop is hanging. So this king and this queen is tied to the protection of this bishop. And if you castle, well, you just lose the bishop immediately because the rook doesn't really protect the bishop. What do you know? In the game, you actually play queen to e2 check, which is an alternative. It's not the best move, but it's still an alternative. But here, I play bishop e7, rook a1, and we go into basically the same as position that we discussed before. I play bishop e4 here. I didn't think I was losing, but I definitely can feel the pressure coming up to me. And so, I play bishop e4. Take my pawn. I'm just trying to survive turn 2. But here I think he overthought a bit. You see, he still has a minute on his clock. He still has a minute. But he plays king b2. It's still a viable move, but I castle here. The move that I'm supposed to play so long ago, I castled. Now, and suddenly my damages are not that bad. The best move here, guess what? The best move is usually the most obvious one, which is knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes. You go into a mastery, I guess. You go into a mastery, this is just completely losing for black. So that's the best move. But he overthought again. He thought for solid 15 seconds here, a quarter of his time went into this move, and then he blunders. Well, not really, but... Knight takes d5. Knight takes d5. Yep. He played knight takes d5 here. I think overthought of it, but not that it matters because play queen takes d5, which is still bad. But as this move, bishop takes was apparently better. The point is that if queen takes, do you have this? Wait, no, you don't have this because queen takes. Okay. Queen a6. Interesting. Alright. So I guess like bishop takes was probably better, just because like it just gets the bishop out of the scope of these pieces, which is always a sight to see. The queen takes d5, and this bishop is still under attack. And so suddenly, like, I'm losing. Suddenly I'm just completely losing. I am a pawn down, but this bishop is hanging, so that's my only thing. And here I threw in this check, because I wanted to take this bishop with a check. The best move here, apparently, is rook takes b3. Rook takes b3, takes back, queen takes a5. What? Wait. Oh, it's just perpetual. Oh, it's a perpetual. Oh yeah, rook takes b3 to pray for a perpetual. Well, that's completely fine, right? Bishop a3. The point is I want to take this bishop with a check, which I eventually do. Thank you so much. The king goes back. And rook fc8. I'm definitely losing here, but I do have plans on the queen side. He doesn't have any attack on the king side yet. He has a really passed pawn. 2 passed pawn. As a matter of fact. He's up a pawn. He is pretty dominant on the king side. I'm dominant on the queen side, but it's definitely not enough. But I do have plans of queen to c3 check. And then what happens next, I don't know. Like, I don't know what happens after this. Maybe it's just take. But the most logical way to defend this, queen d3. The second most logical way to defend this, rook e3. The third most logical way to defend against this, rook f3. And queen b6. Here, white to move and win. It is plus 3.6 on, we both missed this with only, as you can see, wait, can I turn on? Yeah. We only have 20 seconds on the clock. Both of us missed this. Even after analyzing this, we both missed this move. White to move and win. I'll give you 5 seconds. Slam in the rook. Slam in the rook here. Rook takes f7. Yup, rook takes f7. What's the point of this move? It's such a deep idea. It's well, not really, but this is just phenomenal. If you take back, well, the best moves are definitely not to take, but then you just get bamboozled. If you take, white has queen to d5. And anywhere you go, you either lose your queen or you get mated. Let's start with the obvious one first. Let's start with the obvious one. Well, black has 2 moves. King to f6. Well, guess what? Loses on the spot to queen to f5. That's checkmate. That's literally checkmate. So king to f8, another move, but then rook to f1. Rook to f1 here. And you have to sacrifice your queen in order to not lose. You have to sacrifice your queen. We go into this type of endgame. Look at this. Queen versus 2 rooks. But this is just completely winning because the pawns are just so isolated. White has a pawn majority. 5 for 3. A queen is basically as equal as 2 rooks, so we don't count. The discrepancy is basically negligible. So white is up 2 pawns. 1 point material, but white is up 2 pawns. And the pawn are just so disconnected. So with the power of checks, white is just going to pick up all these pawns. These rooks are nothing. They're absolutely nothing. That's why rook takes f7 is such a good idea. And I mean, if you also could just stack up the rooks. That's just a free pawn. You're up 2 pawns here. And this is just a completely devastating attack. Insane. But 20 seconds on the clock, he doesn't find it, obviously, as I said. He plays rook ef1 instead, just doubling down, which is still a good idea. But I play rook c7 here. The idea has been stopped, I think. The idea of rook takes f7 has been stopped. So rook 1 f2. I don't understand why rook 1 f2, but alright. Rook b c8. And suddenly the idea of rook takes f7 is renewed. Look, rook takes f7, rook takes f7, rook takes f7, king takes f7, and this, queen to f5. In this form, the rook takes f7 idea has been enabled with this move. Attacking this rook, forking it. We go into a queen endgame, but white is just completely better because he's up 2 pawns. He's just up 2 pawns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Versus 1, 2, 3. White is up 2 pawns. So the idea of rook takes f7 is enabled again, but 20 seconds on the clock doesn't see it. Completely fine. Rook d3. You might have seen the eval bar just has a stroke here. And why is that? I found the only good move in this position. a5. a5 only move in this position because, well, as you guessed it, the attack on my queen side suddenly is on par with his attack on the king side, which he doesn't even have any attack. He doesn't have any concrete threats. By pushing a5 and then a4, suddenly I have an attack. Suddenly, I'm slowly pushing in. I'm slowly pushing, and I'm actually dreaming for a win. I have a better position. So he takes my pawn, and I play queen to a5. Just to basically just take his pawn, just get a bit more scope, etc. King to d1, queen takes a4, and I'm just completely winning. But rook to b3, queen a1, and here, unfortunately, very unfortunately, with just 17 seconds on the back clock, at this point, I want to show you the time that I've been hiding from you guys, intentionally. A couple moves ago, let's scroll down to random position, he was up 30 seconds, 20 seconds. He was up by a pretty significant amount. Now, suddenly, he doesn't have much time. He doesn't have much time anymore. Suddenly, I have more time than him. Which is just amazing, by the way. But when you're in such a time scramble, the first instinct that you do, you trade everything. So instead of playing the best move, which is rook to c4, of attacking this d4 pawn, I played rook takes c2 here. Rook takes c2. It's still not a bad move. Be aware, it's still not a bad move. But when I played rook takes c2, I committed to trading everything, and this is a drawn endgame. What I should have done here is, even though I played rook takes c2, you still have queen takes d4 here. And this is still not that bad a position. Queen a1, rook b2, you take on here, queen a3, king d1, and you're just going to take all of these pawns. And this position, even though it's queen versus 2 rooks, it is completely winning for black. Because black is just going to take everything. But I committed to trading everything. I committed to trading 2 rooks to a queen. And, I mean, this guy's a bullet god. He's a flagging god. He anticipated this, so he pre-moved everything in this sequence. Now queen to a2. Queen to a2. I didn't saw this pawn. I played queen to a2. Rook b2. Queen c4. I took this pawn finally, but this position is completely drawn. The material-wise is completely equal. I'm up a pawn. It is queen versus 2 rooks, but We don't have 13 seconds left. I have a bit more time than him. And I know that I have the ground here. I have the high ground. Because he has to defend against my checks. And these two rooks are pretty good at defending checks, but I can still give more and more checks because they aren't really mobile. So watch, please enjoy. Queen to d1. King a2. I move my king. I try to give a bunch of checks. Just giving a bunch of checks here. He's pre-moving everything. He knows time is such an important factor here. But he only has 2 seconds left. No, 8 seconds. He has less than 2 seconds compared to me. Go check, 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 check. I'm giving so much more checks here. But then I stopped giving check here because, well, I didn't want to go into perpetual. But in time scramble, I played queen to e5. This is why I said I almost destroyed this guy in my original video, my original shorts, which probably came. I played queen to d5, queen e5, and I mean that just hangs immediately. And 3 seconds on the clock, he's a 2400, he's 2500 basically. He could take his pawn. I mean, it's that simple. He did take this queen. It is completely free. He just got a free ticket. He just got a free win, and he's gonna brag everybody about how he survived this amazing game against this super handsome YouTuber. He doesn't take it. He doesn't take it. And we give a bunch of more checks. You can see the time slowly ticking down. He's removing everything. But he gets flagged. He gets absolutely flagged. And with that, this is how I won against a 2500. This is how I won against a candidate master. Which is just insane. Absolutely insane when you think about it. But he offers a rematch. So let's dive right into the second rematch where I probably played one of the best games of my life. Not really. It's an exaggeration, but in that game I was completely winning, but something happened. And so we're going to go straight into the second game. With me having the white pieces, I obviously had to go with my signature opening, the most prestigious opening ever in my menu, in my opening repertoire, whatever I just said. I have to go with 1 to f4. The birds opening. Please check out my 20-minute guide on how to play the birds opening. The mic quality is absolutely abysmal, but I'm desperate. But the candidate master here, Jamison actually goes for g5, which is the Hobbs gambit. In the initial video, I didn't really cover this, simply because I thought that this move was idiotic. It just loses a pawn, straight up. So f takes, h6, g takes, e5. This is the main line. Another option here is just to take this, but then another option is just to take the pawn, but then after d4, like, I think everything is good. So e5 here, and I played h7, which is a mistake. The main line of this, I don't really have theory. Me and Jamison, with both basically ran out of theory. We're just playing without prep. He doesn't know what the hell this is. He doesn't even know the name of the gambit. I do know, because I'm a Birds player. The theory of this is to either go, like, play developing moves. Knight c3, d4, or simply d3. The point is, let's say knight c3 for example. Bishop takes, you can now strike in the center with d4. You can like the bishop takes, and if they trade everything, sure, this can be a tap, but you have a very neat idea, which is queen to f4. Queen to f4, if you take, you'll lose your rook. So not really ideal, but in general, this trade is very good, and at the end, like, this open h-file for the rook doesn't do anything, and you can probably castle kingside. Queen side. So not good, but I play h7, which is a mistake. I anticipated rook takes h7, which is the move here. However, queen to h4, intermezzo, Zwischenzug, whatever the hell you want to call it, is the only move here. Well, not the only move that, like, equalizes for black, I guess. The point is at g6, and now you no longer lose castling rights. When you play rook takes h7, you lose castling rights on the king side. Not like it matters anyways, because your king's so exposed, but still. It's, both are basically equal. So I went for d4 here. I strike in the center. And he thinks for a little bit before he goes d5. And I took the pawn like basically immediately. I'm looking him dead in the eyes like, what are you doing? I'm up 2 pawns. And I'm gonna be up way more pawns than this. So we got bishop to c5. And queen to d3. Just trying to attack this rook. Very amazing. So rook to h4. Wow. I mean, this guy is playing some alien. I can't swear. This guy is playing some witty alien. You know, some shorts when he just pushes the a pawn and just puts his rook out and just goes in the center. This is basically what he's doing, and it's not good for reasons. Queen b5. Queen b5 first, only moves 97, but then knight f3. Knight f3, attacking the rook, developing move. This is why you don't put your queens out, and especially rooks out. I mean, it's rare to get your rook out this early like this, but this is why you don't put your major pieces out so early, because the minor pieces can develop, it can develop and attack at the same time. This is just developing with tempo. This is not good. So rook to b4, queen d3, I go back, and now b6, and guess what? I'm up 3 pawns. Yep. And the rook is being attacked. So c6 being a logical move. And the best part, I could be up 4 pawns. I mean, the best move is just to take, and like this doesn't do anything. I mean, generally, I don't know, but I had an instinct that, wait, my queen might be trapped. There's something. Realistically, you don't have anything. Realistically, he doesn't have anything. So I could have just taken this pawn, but I really didn't. So I played, I played queen d3 instead. I just went back. Life is good. a5. His pieces are, you could say this is development, but like this rook is so awkward. It's literally offside. This is just killing Mbappe on a very good day. He just goes offside, he just goes running. Queen to h7. I'm trying to attack the knight. I'm trying to finish the game off. I'm up +3 here, and it's only been like 10 or 13 moves. It's 13 move. Knight to e7. And the move that I fail to see here is e6. e6 wins on the spot because f takes queen h5. Queen h5, and then bishop h6. And what are you going to do now? You're going to get mated. I think you're going to get mated. Queen g5. And king f7, then like that's the only move that doesn't get you mated, but it's just so awkward. Look at this. Look at the domination. And everything else like just gets you mated, bro. Like anything else. Like this, you get mated. Same way with this. So the move that I missed is e6. I should have taken a very good thought of it. I thought like 6.4 seconds. Exactly. But I missed e6 here. Unfortunately, I played queen h8. This drops a lot of my advantage, but that's fine. Knight to f8. His king looks smothered. His king looks awkward. His king is stuck in a box. And it's about to get delivered by UPS. And what you know by UPS, they damage packages a lot. So this king is about to get bamboozled. This king is about to get destroyed. Bishop h6. A mistake. I'm sending missiles everywhere. Knight to g6. Knight to g6. The thing is, bishop h6 is not that good of a move. It's not that good of a move because the bishop is auto protecting, so any knight move. Knight f5 was the best move, but knight g6 also a decent move. protects the knight, both sides, and here. So at this point, I had to trade the queens. I just had to trade the queens. I'm up 3 pawns anyways. Like, even after this trade, even after something like this, and like this, I will still be up like 2 pawns. And I think that this is completely normal. Not that much, but that's fine. But, he doesn't trade the queens. He says, okay, well, I'm down 3 pawns. I'm not going to trade the queens. Well, simply because, well, in chess, there's a very important rule. Liquidation. When you're up in material, the first thing you want to do is trade down every piece. From the major pieces to the minor pieces to the pawns, you want to trade down everything and use that material advantage to win. So, Jamison, he understands this very clearly. He doesn't trade the queens. He instead plays bishop back and drops a pawn. I'm up 4 pawns. Definitely, I don't have much of an advantage as before, but I'm up 4 pawns. He started his game with 8 of his soldiers on the 2nd rank, and my Majesty just took 5 of it. He just took 500 soldiers, leaving 3 left. It's so bad. It's so okay. Bishop e7, surviving. Queen c3, and suddenly all of my material is gone. I mean, this is such a wild game. This is just insane. I mean, I'm up 4 pawns. I'm up 4 pawns here, and I mean, I missed e6, which is a crucial move, but I'm up 4 pawns. And the best part, it is completely equal. Basically equal. And guess what he finds to move? Rook c8. Rook c8. Queen d3. Queen d3. The best move here was actually queen to e3. The point is, I don't see what's the difference between queen d3 and queen e3. But the engine says that queen e3 is better. I don't know why. I guess I probably just to protect this pawn more. I guess. I'm not that sure. Don't ask me. I'm just. But queen d3, a bit of a mistake, but inaccuracy, as a matter of fact. Bishop h4. I have something to say. To people who are watching, if you made it this far, thank you so much. I love you, just so you know that. But don't go around and give random checks. This check does not do anything because of g3. This check does not do anything at all. It does not. Hell no. So now I kick it back, and now rook takes on b2. I mean, what do you do here? I mean, the best move here is just take. But now I overthought. I overthink everything. I thought that this might be a threat. I mean, I didn't see anything concrete, but I thought this was a threat. So I didn't. I played knight a3, which is still winning. For your information, this is still winning. I had a plan of going to c4 and then d6. I thought it was more important than taking the bishop. I'm up so much material anyways. I mean, I can do whatever I want, right? So bishop e7 goes back, knight c4. Just continuing the plan. Bishop e4 check. I played king to f2 because I don't need to castle anymore. I mean, castling would be great, but I don't need to castle anymore. Put my king in the center. I don't care. It's safe. It's safe over here. So the bishop goes back, check. I play king g2, rook b4. But no, that's not my time. I'm going to show you the time right now. Black, Jamison has a minute left. I have 50 seconds. I have 50 seconds left. So I am very much down in material. We see 96. Takes. Bishop to b5, attacking my queen. I give a check. He blocks. And here, I spent 20 seconds off my 45 seconds left. And I played knight g5, which is a blunder. Drops all my advantage. I'm gonna tie the time now. Drops all of my advantage. The point being, no, he has a variety to move here, but I think bishop c6 is the most deadly. Simply because, well, I mean, either the knight goes back, or even wilder is this. I mean, if you take, then like you lose immediately to this, so like that doesn't do anything. But king to g1, you take on here, and sure, but I might be up like 2 pawns, but black still has a very much pleasant position. This rook is trapped. This rook is just trapped. What can we do, man? There's nothing we can do. And I believe that, yeah, queen takes d6 is also just flat out winning. Look at this. Look at the coordination of black's pieces. I'm up 2 points of material. That doesn't mean anything. I have a bishop that is a bit inactive. It's fine. I have a bishop that's stuck. I have a rook that's stuck. I have a queen that's putting some pressure. That's fine. I have a rook, but it doesn't have any good squares to go to. The coordination of the pieces is so disconnected. Meanwhile, black's pieces are just so coordinated that even though he's down 2 pawns, doesn't even matter. I think like black here could be like -2, -3 practically. It's a miracle that it's currently still a little bit advantageous to white right now. But queen f6 was played. Knight takes e6. Knight takes e6, bishop c6 check. I play king to g1. I said, okay, take my thing then, because I got to discover check. What are you gonna do? What you gonna do to me? Rook e4. Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see madness. You're about to see some madness, because rook to e4 is a blunder, and he immediately sees it. But I want you to look at the time. I have 18 seconds left. 19 seconds. He has 28 seconds. Yes. So I have 19 seconds left. And I have to figure out the winning sequence. So what I do, knight g7 check. First great move. He goes king to f8. And I go back. I didn't see the move. It's fine, right? It's fine. He goes back again. He repeats the position. King g8 was better because like what do you do now? What do? You don't do anything. I mean, I guess you have d7, but whatever. He repeats the position, and he gives me a second chance. 11 seconds left on my clock. 12 seconds. 11.8. Whatever. I don't care. Knight c7 check. It's still winning. Don't worry. Rook takes. He gave me 2 chances. Immediately after that, he was like, oh, yo, you know? Yeah, you had knight h5. I forgot this bishop was checking this. I mean, king to g8 here. I take this, which check. I'm about to take his rook. I mean, I'm completely winning. But I didn't even win. So guess what? I took his rook. I thought it was fine. Heck, even after this, d takes would have been winning. Why is d takes winning? Well, let's say that, well, I'm about to promote, obviously. Let's say the king tries to stop. Well, I have queen takes. And suddenly promotion is basically unstoppable. Let's go with the engine top move. The engine top move here. Oh, king d6. Oh, nice. Queen f5. I mean, queen f5 doesn't really matter, right? Oh, queen f5, just see. That's queen f4, actually. Yeah, but still, anything that the engine recommends is suggesting queen takes b6. And promotion is unstoppable. You have nothing on me. You actually have nothing. But I failed to see that. 10 seconds left on my clock, and you saw the time. You understand what happened? Bishop takes, rook takes, king d7. There's no bishop, there's no queen takes b6. There's no queen takes b6 anymore. So suddenly, This is a completely equal position. I'm up 3 pawns. I'm up 3 pawns, but I'm on 8 seconds. I'm on my last legs. I'm on my last legs here. And guess what? With time pressure, I blunder my bishop. I proceed to go to time scramble. I blunder my rook. And in the end, I got flagged. My rook is just gone. I just blunder another rook. Blah blah blah. And with that, I destroyed this guy in the. I narrowly beat him in the first game. I destroyed him in the second game, but then I don't know what happened. I think I woke up drunk. I did not drink any beer. I'm underage. I miss e6. I miss e6 in this position, and I miss the just such a crucial d takes c7. I missed 2 moves here that are just so much critical, and there are so many moves that I can go over, but that will make this video way too long than it already is. So, yep, that is how I almost beat the 2500 2-0. The end score is 1-1. I feel like I should have won. I feel like Jamison when he played Ding Liren. I'm not glazing him. So, yeah. I'm a bit mad. I'm definitely a bit mad about this. I think it's problem of tactics, but right. If you think my content is good, only if you think my content is good, subscribe to my channel. Definitely. I'm trying to improve my content every day. I'm trying to improve my editing. I'm trying to improve everything. I try to give the best chess content. And finally, just as a courtesy, just helping a brother out, follow Jamison's Twitch channel. I'm going to put a link in the description along with his YouTube channel. Thank you so much, and I promise, better videos are going to come out. Thank you so much.